just don't know what the officer. I just don't know what the officer thinks he's going to do if he gets in front of him. It's almost like he thought he was going to pass him there a few times, and I'm just not too sure what would happen in that situation. So now the speeds are even higher. We're approaching 80 miles an hour, and I think we're going to see these high speeds from now all the way down into like Anaheim if he stays on the 5, because looking up ahead, there's very little volume on the freeway. But boy, from when they were doing 40, he was right behind that suspect and almost looked like he was going to try and overtake him. And that really would be something I haven't seen. Especially, yeah. 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 Correct. Yeah, we've seen them fly by the vehicle and try and get up ahead, and then, basically they're just trying some strategy to get the people ahead, maybe to clear back, or they get an off-ramp secured or something like that. But I've never seen, at least not for a long time, I've been doing this for almost 37 years, and I can tell you 30 years ago, they would do this a lot. I mean, they were a lot more aggressive, especially in some of these other agencies. They would get right behind the suspect at high rates of speeds. But over the last couple decades, things have really calmed down, and it's not usual from what we see up here for a patrol car to get that close. And at these types of speeds, if the patrol car would get in front of them, I just don't know what could be accomplished besides putting a lot more than just the officer and the suspect at risk, but also other people on the freeway. Now, if the officer continues to go by here in the carpool lane at a high rate of speed and get in front and isn't right next to him, we've seen that type of procedures before. We've seen that many times, but not right on their tail at high rates of speed. Yeah, and exactly. Uh, I was thinking that as well. But like I said, there's a lot of times we follow these things, and we have only limited information. We don't have everything the police have. And, maybe there's a kidnapping. I mean, I hate to speculate and just throw things out, but that would explain why. Uh, okay, here we're getting some more information now, and it's starting to bear light on what we're seeing. There's a female passenger that is the victim. So it's almost like a kidnapping situation here, or it could be possible. You just know a female victim. I don't know if that means that she was kidnapped or not. But now you've got another person in that vehicle. You don't know the conditions in that vehicle. You don't know if it's more than one, because there could be. And so I wouldn't doubt that what we saw was an attempt for them to get very close and try and peek in to see what was going on in that cockpit, to see if that female passenger was in immediate danger, to see if there was more than just her, try and get some sort of assessment of the situation inside the vehicle. And then if you wonder why it's not legal to tint all of your windows, that's one of the reasons. Officers want the ability to be able to see in, to see what's going inside the vehicle, especially the front front windshield, or not the windshield, but the driver's side front door glass. And because at night you can't see as well either, but it looks like almost all of the windows in this pickup truck have been tinted. And now look at all the patrol cars behind this as the suspect has really stopped. Now this is new type of situation we've seen, the type of driving from the suspect. We've never seen this before. Really slowing down to 42 miles an hour. I'm trying to see, Philip, maybe if there was a spike strip, but that does not appear to be the case. It looks like those tires are intact. Open up out of the shot for just a moment. I want to give folks a little bit of an idea. There's no traffic up ahead. We're on the southbound side of the 5 at Rosecrans, down in the Norwalk area, South Whittier. And we're speculating that he might be out of gas. So that certainly is the best way this could end as far as the pursuit portion is concerned, if that is true. And it sort of looks like that may be the case. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there was yeah, you would think so. Yeah, you'd think the vehicle would have just completely stopped. So at this point, although it looks like that is more and more the case, maybe it started to sputter and it just couldn't keep the speed up and then slowly started to stop. It's been a long time since I ran a car out of gas. I'm not sure. But it's possible. Okay. Yeah, I remember in my youth. It was just a long time ago. But at this point, open up a little bit. Yeah, open up a little bit. I'm just going to give you an idea of the scope. The helicopter flew overhead. 3 patrol cars behind. You can go back in. This is right before the Firestone Boulevard off-ramp on the southbound side of the 5. So CHP is going to block all traffic from coming down this way. We're down to 15 miles an hour. Maybe out of gas, but as you mentioned, Philip, it's really strange. If he's running out of gas, he can keep rolling. Maybe this portion of the 5 is downhill a little bit. But continuing to slow. Patrol cars right behind, and things really get dicey here. So you've got the freeway shut down, you've got CHP behind the vehicle, you've got a suspect in there with a female victim. We don't know her condition. It looks like her hands are out of the vehicle. So CHP on the bullhorn is telling the suspect to do that, and that certainly is encouraging news right now that the suspect is cooperating, putting the hands out. That's what they're asking for. Maybe throw out the keys. And then they'll slowly get the individual out of the vehicle. If he cooperates, they'll get him down. Almost looks like something might have been, it was a bird that flew by. I thought something might have been thrown out of the window, but that's not correct. But we'll open up a little bit. Things can get dicey in a situation like this. It looks like the right door is opening up. Maybe that's the female victim they heard about. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, in the short term, absolutely. If you know somebody who drives the South 5, you reach out to them, get off, get onto Surface Street, and then join the 5 freeway past Firestone. Get on, down at Carmenita possibly, and that'll help. But you can tell what's happening right now. The suspect, the driver, is down on his knees with his back to the officers. The female victim, they believe, that's the information they have. They're asking her to back up towards the officers. They don't know which is which. They don't know exactly what they're dealing with right now. They want to separate them. They want to make certain that it's clear to approach. They still have to worry about there possibly being more people inside the truck. That has not been cleared yet. But they're going to take the female suspect or the female. We don't know if she's a suspect or a victim at this point. We have some information that maybe she was the victim. They're going to get her first. They're still concerned about the other suspect. If he does have a weapon, he still could be a danger to the officers and to the woman that you see there. As a precaution, they're taking her into custody. They just need to get her safely out of this area, and that's the best way to do it. The officer doesn't want to grab her and turn around and put his back to the suspect. He will back up so he can keep an eye on the suspect or the driver at this point in time. He'll get her clear behind the patrol car. Then they'll take the suspect into custody, and then they'll come down and clear the vehicle before they clear the freeway. One thing about the freeway, though, Philip, because the vehicle's on the shoulder, once they take the suspect into custody, I think they'll open up the 5 pretty quickly. And right now, as you mentioned, the 5 southbound is stopped down past Firestone. It is a complete closure, and you don't want to be on that southbound 5. It's going to be a mess here for the next 20 or 30 minutes, I think, at least 15. They're in the process to take him into custody. If they can clear the vehicle, since it's on the shoulder, they should be able to open up all the lanes fairly quickly, but we still have to see if that's going to be the case. No. Yep. Yeah, this is the portion of the 5 that I talked about, Philip, earlier. They open up so many lanes. People really had a tough time on the 5 freeway during construction. But the portion from the 605 down into Buena Park, you've got like 6 lanes in both directions. And traffic through here has been really moving well since they finished that, or a portion of it. So the suspect is complying. They'll get him face down. They'll just make sure he can't reach into his shirt and maybe get to a weapon. Guns are drawn. It's a very tense situation. They feel that they can walk up to the suspect, grab his arms, take him into custody. He is complying. So the suspect now is going to be in custody. It looks like the threat is over. Now, I want to open up, though, and show you the shot for a moment and talk about what we talked about. The vehicle's on the shoulder, but open up and tilt up a little bit, if you would, for a moment there, Chad. And there's the closure on the 5 southbound. So you don't want to be stuck on that. I do have a feeling, though, CHP is really good about these things. Unless they have to spend a lot of time with his vehicle, I think if they clear that vehicle, they'll get their patrol cars off to the shoulder, and they'll open up the 5 pretty quickly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and you know, assumption is always a problem. So that even though that there's a report that she may have been a victim, they really have to figure that out first before they make any determination. You know, they got to talk to her. They got to get more in depth into this investigation. But I do believe the freeway will open up pretty quickly. I think the main thing is, Philip, the danger to the public is over. There was some real dicey situations there, some scary situations. Suspect in that truck traveling at high rates of speed, swerving in and out of traffic, into oncoming traffic, almost stuck behind a truck. I don't think any vehicles were hit. We don't believe anyone's been injured, and now it's just a matter of wrapping up this investigation and getting the freeway open. Yeah, and yeah, yeah, they will, but that's one thing I've noticed about CHP. They're really good. You know, when a freeway shut down, you saw the officer running to the vehicle to shut the door. They're very aware that, hundreds and hundreds of people are affected by this, and they want to reopen the freeway. Open up, I think they're opening it up now, and that officer ran to shut the door. And he did that because he knows that these folks are stuck. And they've cleared the vehicle. There's no threat. The suspect's in custody. It's all off to the shoulder. Maybe they'll block the right lane, but I don't even think they'll do that. And the freeway is going to reopen. So really no worries for the 5 South. It's going to recover. The 5 North is not affected. Nobody was hurt. Looks like the suspect, we believe, possibly ran out of gas. The victim, the female, she appeared to be fine when she got out of the vehicle. If she was a victim, we don't know for certain. The suspect in custody, and really, as I mentioned, any threat now is over. This pursuit has been terminated. Tilt up. Slowly. 5 minutes, and there's a little bit of congestion right there as you round down past Rosecrans, but if you come down with the camera once again, you'll see how quickly it's going to recover. Now, there's activity on the shoulder, so people are going to slow to look at that. I mean, they just can't not, right? So as long as there's activity on the shoulder, we'll have a little bit of a slowdown here, but it won't be stopped traffic like we saw when they did have to close the freeway there for a few minutes. Thank you, Philip. Open up out of your shot. Show the freeway. All right. You can go back to Van Nuys. Okay. Okay. I'm assuming we're clear from this, right? Okay. We have to go around downtown? Okay. Oh, that's not in effect until 1:30. Okay, thank you. I understand that that's not in effect until 1:30, but I don't think the sheriff's department would have to pull off the pursuit, would they? Well, is she there already, or does she come in at 1:30? I guess that must be in effect then, right? Now? He's saying she's here. Maybe she's not in downtown. Or we're just checking the TFRs. Okay.